It's Monday Night Football live, and the Vikings are on the road. They are 4-0, and at the moment, that's the way they could stay, which is unbeaten, because the Green Bay Packers are well behind at the moment. But this is a team that's come back strongly all season long, and the man who's mainly contributed to that is their quarterback, Mr. Brett Favre, the man that we all know, the man that we all love, and the man that we can now see in slightly unusual circumstances.
Brett Favre is the NFL's most valuable player. No question. Brett's a guy who's been playing football since he was a kid, day in and day out.
We got practice this afternoon, tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, it's the same thing every day.
Flight slide, 2 Jet X bagger on 1, right? Let's go.
And when the off season comes, it's like, what do I do with my free time?
Great one.
From television appearances to a role in the Hollywood film Something About Mary, Brett's free time isn't really free at all.
Hi, Mary.
Brett?
What the hell is Brett Favre doing here? Brett Favre doing here?
From dancing to singing, this guy never sits still.
I would think I probably sing a little bit better than I act.
Like Grandpa used to play.
This NFL superstar also recorded his first country songs. But this offseason, Brett did go home to Mississippi for a while before he flew off for his first trip to Japan.
A lot of fun. It was a total different culture than what I was used to. And the visit was basically for 2 reasons: to promote the NFL internationally,
Brett Favre, rock and rules.
and also to promote our American Bowl game against Kansas City. But it was a lot of fun. It was a long trip, but it was a lot of fun.
First time in Japan, yes, I'm having a great time. I think Japan is great. Japanese girls, oh, I like it. Football is a great sport, and flag football is something that I've played since I was a kid, so I hope everyone enjoys it, because if you don't know much about it, you won't like it. But if you get involved in it, you'll see it's a great sport.
Brett Favre is one of football's best ambassadors, and he'll keep playing and singing till the clock runs out.
Na, 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye.
Okay, so he can't sing.
No.
We know that much now. But
They say anyone can sing country music.
This is the truth, though, exactly. And he made a pretty bad job of it. But what's he going to do in his second half now, though?
I don't know, but if there's a job going for a coach in the Japanese Women's Football League, I'll...
You're volunteering, hands up.
Well, I mean, it's not so much Favre, although they've put a lot of pressure on him. But Green Bay basically needs to get their passing game going by, I would say, involving the running backs a bit more. Their play calling, to me, it seemed a little bit strange because they haven't been able to establish any rhythm. So when they went for the first down, for example, 3 plays straight into the middle of the line. But the real problem is defensively. What are they going to do to stop Minnesota? And the defensive backs, all they can basically do is say, look for the damn ball. But up front, can they bring any pressure without putting too much pressure on the, putting too much pressure on their own defensive backs?
Now, they have done this before, of course. I mean, they've been, as we mentioned before the break, they've been doing it all season long. I mean, what it is about their game that can get them back into games like this?
Well, Favre is the thing that can get them back in games. And you saw on the last series that they had the ball, he got out of the grasp of John Randall, which human beings don't normally do.
Yeah.
But then nothing happened. Then he got sacked again. Minnesota is a good defensive team, and they'll have to be at their best. He's got to get some help. His wide receivers have to give him some help. They've got to go to some of the middle stuff a bit more, and they haven't been doing enough of that.
Okay, well, it's an intriguing second half because, as they said at the end of that game there, 24-10 is not a big gap for these Green Bay Packers. But let's look at the weekend now. We've been bringing highlights all the way through that first half. Mike's going to pick it up now. He's going to slip into that there red swimsuit and bring you a Rook Watch.
Rook Watch. And a rookie watch between the 2 quarterbacks. And the rookie watch between the 2 quarterbacks. Well, Ryan Leaf started out the way he's been going for the last few weeks. Elijah Alexander with the interception, and that led to this touchdown on the fake reverse. Marshall Faulk downfield all alone and just steps in the end zone. That made it 7-0 to Indianapolis. Peyton Manning throwing his own interception. And after Harrison got rid of the interception, the Chargers came down and got a field goal, so it was 11-3. Then Leaf throwing to Freddie Jones deep downfield, but that one's called back. It looked like a touchdown, called back on the offsides, and they come right back down and get downfield again with Still making the catch, getting caught just before the end zone, but that was time for the Natron bomb. Natron Means. He takes it in for the touchdown, and Indianapolis is back in the game. Now they go for the two-point conversion. Watch Monty Montgomery in the corner there, holding the receiver and then pushing him away. And Webster Slaughter saying, come on, he was holding my towel. Well, take your towel off, Webster. Ken Dilger, who had a two-point conversion of his own, took the onside kick for Indianapolis, and that basically kept San Diego out. Leaf going down with the sack, and nothing much between the two quarterbacks. Hey, look at the stats. They're eerily identical, but the difference, Peyton Manning throwing the one touchdown, and that was all the difference in the game.
Okay, well, there you go. There's some highlights there, and another game for you.
And Carolina, Atlanta. Tim Dwight, the rookie wide receiver that Atlanta drafted, takes the opening kickoff back. 93 yards for the touchdown. Chris Chandler coming up now. A little bit of scrambling, which you don't see much of from Chandler. And then touchdown Tony Martin getting the 30-yarder from Chris. That made it 14-0. Carolina got a field goal. And then Chandler scrambling again, throwing back the other way. Fake play as Chris Chandler does the catching on the pass from the rookie Tim Dwight. Then Luther Broughton fumbles. Fred Lane returns the favor. Not a bad day for Atlanta as Carolina, nothing much going right. Kerry Collins throws. Mushin Muhammad, he's so surprised to catch a pass, he just falls down and fumbles for no apparent reason. William White takes it in for Atlanta on their way to 51 points to 23.
There you go, highlights there, and now the second half of our live game.
In the area, the ball bounces at the 20, fielded by David Palmer, who brings it back from the 9 and swings to the outside and brings it back close to midfield, thrown out of bounds by Tyrone Williams at the 46. Leslie, how you doing?
Oh, God, Al. At the half, Denny Green said that he's most impressed with their pass protection. He wants that to continue. Mike Holmgren told his team, we have been in tougher spots than this. He said, keep the sideline alive, and then he told them, weather is not a factor. Oh. I said, weather is not a factor? Back to you, Al.
You know, Leslie, we've talked to accounting, and they are going to pay for your $300 haircut tomorrow. We promise.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Leslie, that you're doing that with a smile speaks volumes.
1st and 10 from the 45-yard line.
Now we've got the officials stopping play here. The ball looked like it rolled back about 1.5 yards.
You know what I think is interesting is the Green Bay Packers had to kick off, and they kicked off into the wind.
It is right now a swirling wind as it is Smith picks up 1 yard, maybe 2. Tackled by Darren Sharper.
And when you play in this kind of weather, as a quarterback, you have to make sure that your center knows that the ball is dry. He can request a dry football from the umpire. And they'll do everything they can to accommodate you as long as there's enough time in the play clock. And secondly, when you're a quarterback, you have to get more of your hand on that football to make sure that it comes out right.
Well, it's partially dry, but it gets wet in a hurry.
2nd down and 9. From the 48 to stay on the ground with Robert Smith, who nudges his way to the 50-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
Well, this is a situation now where Green Bay needs their #1 defense in the league against the rush to take over. They just can't allow the Vikings to grind anything out on the ground and chew up the clock. They have got to force Randall Cunningham to put the ball in the air to sustain drives. It's time to earn that ranking. And 66-year-old Fritz Shermer, I'll guarantee you he made a bucket full of adjustments at halftime.
Fritz feels like he's about 96 right now. 3rd down and 6.
And here they come.
From the 50-yard line. Everybody coming. And Randall gets it away and finds a wide open Chris Carter. And a stutter step nets him a huge gain to the 15-yard line. Run out there by Darren Sharper, 35 yards.
If you're going to blitz and you're a secondary player coming out of the secondary, You got to get there quick because you're coming from a deeper spot. That time Randall saw the blitz coming. He stood in there. He knew that they weren't going to get to him very quickly, and he had time to deliver a ball 15 yards downfield.
Well, the names are Stussy, McDaniel, Christie, Dixon, and Stringer. The starting 5 up front for the Minnesota Vikings. Right now, they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Cunningham has thrown for 314 yards. And this is Leroy Horde. You know, normally we pointed it out for years that when a quarterback throws for 300 yards, more often than not, they lose the game. But here's a case of a guy throwing for 314 yards, 33 minutes into a game. And his team leading and trying to go up by 3 touchdowns.
And what's even more impressive is that he's doing it in this weather.
Yes, it is.
You can't feel it at home, but the wind is blowing, it's swirling, the rain is coming down, and it's noisy on top of it all.
2nd down and 4. Here's Smith. And he takes it to the 6, and that should be a first down. Randall Cunningham tonight is averaging 15.7 yards per pass attempt. Now 7 is real good. 8 is almost Hall of Fame. 15 is otherworldly.
Oh, Leroy Butler still down on the ground, clutching his left ankle.
You know, I felt before the game that the weather definitely works in favor of the Vikings because of the way they run their offense. And when you're on the road and you're playing against a team that's heavily favored against you, weather like this is something that really does work in your favor, Al. It slows down the defensive pass rush. It slows down the pursuit. And certainly the Vikings have really taken advantage of that.
Well, I know something that is huge for Minnesota. And that is simply this. We're going to take a commercial. That's what's simply this. We'll talk about it later.
I'm staying tuned.